We're fishing at a mystical lake somewhere in the northern hemisphere. I'm not even going to say what country we're in. This is a paradise, a wilderness, and we've not been here very long. We've just been getting the equipment organised, and I made my first cast a few minutes ago, and very, very lucky. The fish picked it up within minutes. Very fortunate. Well, I'll be fortunate if I get it to the bank, so it's not over yet, but you can see by the compression in this C3 blank that he's given a very, very good account of himself. He's covered a big distance from the far margin into the centre of this area in front. I don't know the lake, so I'm hoping there's no snags down there, but I've got 038 mimicry line on. Everything should be bulletproof. Let's see if we can get him in.
I was actually here just to help the filming, just get the thing sorted for Adam, but looks like he've been choosing the right spot, so he just got to run. And another good fish picked up the second one.
So on this session I'm using 038 mimicry, and this is why I use thick line always. There's many rocks here, and this is a very tough, durable line, and it's been shaved by something sharp, so I'm using thick, tough line, and I'm still able to land the fish. And for me this is very important. Everybody tries to go very thin. For me it's more important to get the fish in. So the line is damaged, but the fish is in the net. Well, here we are at a secret carp fishing paradise. Me and my good buddy Enrico, and two very quick lucky bites, and thanks for helping me out, buddy.
No, thanks. Nice to be your guest. You know?
Nice to be your guest, thank you.
Really nice to have dog with this. Yeah.
Aren't they beautiful? The size of the dorsal on yours, like a sailfish. Yeah.
It's just black, wild, common carp.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So the lead arrangement I'm using on this session is very simple, and this is the style I use for just about all my fishing in the UK and everywhere I go. So again, very thick, durable 038 mimicry line, and we have the downforce tungsten rig tube. I love rig tube just because it's simple, it's safe, and I fish a lot of different places. Some have different rules. Everywhere you can take this and you don't have to change how you fish. So a length of tubing, maybe, you know, 20 inches or so, English inches. And here I have a couple of components from the last meter mimicry selection. So I have the mimicry tail rubber, which you see has this lovely scattered colour grain within it, and the same with the leg clip. And I put this on maybe halfway, wet it first, and then this is enough. So everywhere I fish, most of the places I fish, much weed, rocks, snags, so this is the safest setup. You need to be able to get rid of the lead. If the fish hooks itself and then hits weed or snags, the lead must be able to come off. But with this lead clip system, it's very, very good, because if the lead does not snag on anything, the lead won't come off, so you're not wasting leads needlessly. Both of the fish that we've hooked on this session have dropped the lead where they've gone through weed or snag, so it's working as it needs to. So very, very simple, safe and effective. That's the setup I use for just about all of my carp fishing. So the rig I'm using, again, very, very similar to, well, it's the same as the rig I use in the UK, the rig that I use for just about all my fishing. So I have the Spectrum fluorocarbon for a boom section, and that is going into the lead clip with the Mimicry anti-tangle sleeve. I have a pinch of the downforce putty just to make sure that stays nailed down. And what I've done is I've tied a double Albright. So on the where the putty is here is a section of braid. It's the Viper 3S braid, very, very strong, short little joint with the putty moulded on it. So that gives me lots of movement in any direction. The hook section is tied with the Prologic mono, and it is just a loop. So some of you may have heard of the multi-rig. It's a multi-rig that's double Albrighted to a fluoro boom. So the rig's a little bit time consuming to tie, but you only have to tie it once. If you catch a fish, you just change the hook by slipping the loop over and taking the hook off. I've got the pink pop-up is mounted on a very small ring swivel, so the swivel is inside the bait and just gives me lots of movement, allows the hook to turn in any direction underneath the bait, and should stand up nice and high like this. A rig that will not tangle, and that's so, so important in my fishing. Tubing, lead clip, anti-tangle sleeve, you can cast this 500 times, it will not tangle. Very important.
Side, didn't I? Give attitude. Look at the fins. That is a character. What a lovely, lovely mirror carp. Special times.
this fish is pulling incredibly hard, as they all do on Lake Paradise. It's really beating me up on this C3 blank. I'll try and gain some line because there is a snag out there and he's trying to get to it. Ah, come on. So it's been a memorable day. We've only fished for a few hours and we've had a few bites between us, Enrico and myself. Been very, very good fun with some extremely hard fighting fish. We've been walking around and throwing in some boilies and casting across to the far margin. This fish is trying to get around the island. Come on. You just pinged off a rock or something. Come on. Ah, he's swinging out. Heart stopping. So all of these fish have come to the last metre range, down force tubing, a few mimicry, the new mimicry end components, leg clips, tail rubbers, hook links made from reptilian, and these fish are just turbocharged. The Prologic mono and some fluorocarbon, and we've just been fishing pop-ups over the, or I've been fishing a pop-up over the top of the, oh, it's the first one that's gone down there. There's a weed bed down there and he's just, he's kiting out. That's good. Come on, come on. Whew. One other thing you might have noticed that these fish are fighting so hard. When we arrived this morning, I didn't have any grey hair in my beard. Well, we're away from the danger zone. I'm just going to pick, as he picked that line up. Yeah. God. Unbelievable. Must be a very dark fish. I've not seen it yet. There it is. It's a mirror, and I haven't lost the lead. Yeah. Oh, he's a nice black one. Look at that. Jeez. Come on, you're coming in now. That's enough. That's enough. Lift, lift, lift. I couldn't lift it. I hurt my elbow a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he's a nice one. This is the latest in a succession of carp that we've caught today. It's been really memorable. Incredibly hard fighting fish. Very wild in wild in strain and in mood. We've been using the last metre terminal gear and very thick, strong mimicry line, and most of them have come to the bank despite really, really hard battles in quite demanding conditions, and it's been quite a day. Bit of boilie fishing and a few bites under a beautiful blue sky. It's one to remember. Excellent. So it's day 2. We fished a couple of hours yesterday, probably literally just 2 hours, and it was very lucky for me. I had 8 bites. Crazy action from these fish, which are so powerful, so really good fun. Today we've arrived. We have a few hours fishing this afternoon. We've just finished doing some work, so we put the rods out. We have a small amount of time, but the area where I caught the fish yesterday doesn't look right to me, and the fish seems to be further up this end of the lake, so this is where I have come. So I have 3 rods, 2 on the far side, 1 in close where I've seen a fish travel. I've baited with some boilies. By hand I walk round, and by catapult down here. We have a few hours. It's a beautiful afternoon. Let's see if the carp want to play.
Quick, got it. Go. Wow. Might be the best one I've had. Wow. Unbelievable. Come on. Forward. Yeah.
That's harder than 3 hours in the gym.
He has it with salad. Wow.
beautiful tail, absolutely beautiful, perfect. Small but angry. One more, please. Now he's waking up. I love the clutches on these trios. They are just perfect. Oh man. Come on, baby. Get to. It just gets better and better at Paradise Lake. Heavy as well. Excellent. Hey. There we go. Good morning. It's the third day of our trip to Lake Paradise, and we've enjoyed some good success so far. The game is changing a little bit. The fish are moving a lot, so we're back in the original position now, and going to try a couple of different tactics today. I want to go round and stalk one from the other side in the jungle. The fish are patrolling up and down the far margin a lot, and be nice to go around there with a COM rod, short range, see if I can catch one like that. It'd be a lot of fun. And the other thing, I found a spot which is quite a long way, not really long way, but it's a good cast and the bottom is a bit silty, so I'm going to change the presentation to deal with that. So that I get effective rig presentation. So a couple of changes we're going to make today. The weather is very unusual, very warm for this time of year, so it might not be easy, but we've caught some beautiful fish so far. If we can catch one more, I'll be happy, man. Okay, I found a new spot by a tree. It's a little bit further than I've been fishing, so it's a little bit silty as well. I've had a cast around with some lead on the braid with the marker rod. It's a bit silty, it's a long way, I need a bit more weight, so it's the perfect situation for a helicopter style presentation. So I'm going to make one up now. To begin with, I'm going to use the Phyton hollow core, which is like lead core material with no metal inside, so very soft, very supple, will lay over any terrain. Has a fantastic camouflage colour. I'm going to take the splicing needle, make maybe 1 metre of it to begin with, and then I'll show you the rest of the rig. Okay, so to begin, we splice a whole needle length of the hollow core onto the needle, and then exit the needle from the side. Take the end through the gate latch needle, and then pull back inside like so. So we make a loop to one end for tying to the line. So I've made the leader, loop in one end for tying to the line, and I'm going to make a connection now at the other end for attaching the fishing weight. So onto the leader that I've made, I'm going to assemble the following components. So first of all, I'm going to put the helicopter chod buffer on. I'm going to slide on the top bead first, which has a nice big bore for safety reasons, which I'll show you shortly. Then I'm going to have the helicopter ring swivel, quick change version, and then the bottom part of this chod buffer with this bead. It's a one part moulding, but the bead goes down at the bottom. So when this fits together, I'll show you how this fits together. Below that, I'm going to have the actual drop off lead buffer. So these components I'm going to thread on now using the splicing needle. I'm going to thread them onto the leader. So first of all, the large bore bead. Then helicopter ring swivel. Now I've mounted the chod buffer onto the needle. I'm going to pass the end of the leader into the gate and then slide that onto the leader also. So we finish with these components like this. Just put this down so you can see the ring swivel fits perfectly on there, lots of movement, has a bigger ring, bigger fit than a normal ring swivel, so this helicopter swivel is perfect. It's quick change also. If we take the top bead, just wet the stem and put the top bead onto there like that. This is a tension fit on the leader, so it will slide, but it's designed that the top bead will come off like so. and just slide over the knot, over the end of the leader, so if you lose the tackle, it's very, very safe. So the last of the components, I have this Mimicry drop-off lead buffer. This has 3 settings, so if you want to drop the lead and attach it with attach your leader with a loop and use the PVA foam nugget, which is a popular system, then we have 3 holes to allow you to do that, or you can use it also in the conventional style, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to pass this onto the needle, and again thread this onto the leader like so. So now we have all the Mimicry last meter components in place. All we need to do now is attach the lead. So I'm going to splice on a last meter multi-clip, just allows me to quick change the lead if I need to. The process is the same. Insert the needle into the braid. Again, always do nice long splice. 1 whole needle length will never ever come undone. So whole length of needle, pass it outside, take the end, pass the clip on, very important, nearly forgot. So the clip is in place, and now take the end, put it back through the gate, like so, and then we're just going to slide all of the hollow braid off of the needle to create the splice, like so. I love splicing. It's the neatest and strongest way to use these materials. I'm sure you'll agree, there's literally no knot. And in your mind you think it's just passed back on itself, it's not strong, but I assure you, if you splice a whole needle length like this, there's not even any need to glue it. It will never ever come undone. So we're just going to trim the tag end. So to do that, I just pull maybe a couple of extra mil free and trim very close with the scissors. And then if you take the clip and pull, it will disappear inside. So there is no joint whatsoever. Very neat. So now we have the lead. So we're going to take the swivel of the lead and pass onto the clip, and then we're going to slide the helicopter buffer down to cover like this. So don't be tempted with a helicopter rig to cover the whole thing, because the lead will go into the bottom and you need this joint. So the lead goes into the bottom, and because this has a joint, the rig will lay across the top of the sediment like so. If you sheathe all of this, then it will come up awkwardly in an arc and will not sit as nicely. So always have that joint so that your leader can lay flat when the lead is plugged in. So that's the finished arrangement. I'm going to tie this to the end of my main line, which is 038 Mimicry, and then we're going to make a hook link. So now we have to make the hook link, and I'm going to use 2 different materials to make this. So I'm going to make a boom section. It's kind of like a stiff hinge rig, which is popular in the UK. So I'm going to use the Mimicry 3D hook link material. I'm going to make a boom with that, and then I'm going to make a pop-up section with the Prologic mono. So in the Mimicry, for the boom section, I'm going to tie a figure of 8 loop. When you're tying loops in mono, very important to tie a figure of 8. Don't be tempted to tie a normal overhand loop in any kind of mono, because it is not strong enough. Figure of 8, very strong, very reliable. So I'm going to take a length maybe like this, loop in one end, and just cut that, and I'm going to tie this end to a small ring swivel. I'm going to use a 5-turn grinner knot to connect this. So we trim the tag end. Now this mimicry hook link material I really like because it has some stiffness, so you won't get tangles, and if you balance your hook bait right it will boom away. Obviously with the mimicry finish it's impossible to see. Very, very strong, very durable. I'm using the 4.40 diameter for this, which is this one that I showed you already, 25 pounds. So for a boom, it needs to be thick, it needs to be quite stiff. So I always use a heavy one. So our boom is almost finished. I'm just going to add an anti-tangle sleeve to it. Okay, we have a last meter anti-tangle sleeve. This is the 6 centimeter version, and as you can see, the beautiful fleck on the product just gives you another dimension of invisibility and subtle rig camouflage. So I'm going to take the splicing needle again, pass that through the anti-tangle sleeve. So onto the hook link boom, I'm threading some tungsten downforce sinkers. I'm going to put 2 of those on, like so, with the wire loop. It's very easy. This will just keep the rig pinned down to the bottom, very important. So they sit on there very neatly like so. So this is the finished hook link, or the boom section. So we have the helicopter quick change swivel, the mimicry anti-tangle sleeve, the 0.0405 25 pound mimicry 3D hook link. We have 2 downforce tungsten sinkers and the small size ring swivel at this end, which is what we will connect to the hook link, the actual hook part, which I'll do now. So for the hook section, I'm fishing pop-ups on this trip. It's working very well, so I'm going to carry on with that. I'm going to use a size 2 XC5 hook, which is actually quite a small hook for its size, so size 2 is perfect for this situation. With the Pro Chod Mono to create a short, stiff pop-up section. I'll show you how I do that now. So for the hook link material, the first thing I do, make a very small, neat, round loop to the swivel, like so. This just means that I have a nice amount of movement for the pop-up section. It can spin in any direction. Next, we take the hook, we pass the link through the eye of the hook. I don't have my glasses on. And we make it like this. And we now do a whipping knot, which is very important. If you don't know how to tie a whipping knot, then it's very good to learn. So now we have a short, stiff section, beautiful loop. We're tied with the whipping knot, which is very neat, compact, stronger than a knotless knot. We have a tag end here, so now we're going to use the tag end to make the D and attach a ring. So I'm taking a rig ring from the last meter range. I'm going to pass this onto the tag of the Chod Mono, and then I need to pass the tag back through the hook eye like so to create the D. Trim leaving maybe a few millimeters, then cover the whole knot with your fingers to protect. So when you are melting the knot, very, very important to protect all of your rig with your own flesh, then you know if the flame gets too close. So I covered everything, and we're going to take the lighter and melt the end of the Chod Mono down into a blob, then put your finger onto it, make it flat, wait for it to set, so that we have a small mushroom head. So here I'm using the needle with a round profile to shape the D and make it a good shape on the back of the hook. We slide the loop off of the round handle, and we have finished, just like a chod section, Very, very sharp, small D with a ring, and we have a loop for lots of movement. Very, very important. So whichever direction the fish comes from, it can easily get to the bait. I'll put a very slight curve, and this is our finished rig. So if I hold it like this, you can see. Now the only thing we need to add to this is some putty to balance the hook bait. So I will add the putty to the knot, which is just by the ring of the ring swivel. So I'll do that now. So this is the finished rig with the putty. As you see, I've placed it around the knot at the end of the boom section. So the swivel and the hook link should stand up like this, with the rest flat on the bottom. All we need to do now is attach hook bait. So with the splicing needle, I've thread the boilie onto the loop of floss, and then thread the boilie down to the ring. And now we tie a small overhand knot, and into that we will place a hair stop. So we take the hair stop and we pass inside the loop that we tied on the end of the boilie. So we pass inside the loop and then tie several overhand knots. 1, 2, 3 is enough. Trim the end of the floss, leaving a few millimeters. Okay, so when you've melted it, always melt the floss into a blob. Then you place your finger onto the blob while it's molten. Be a man, take the pain. And then it will become a weld and will never ever come undone, because your bait should never ever come off, because it will cost you a fish. That is super secure. Even if a bird or anything picks that up, it will never come off. So the finished rig looks like this. I'm sure you'll agree. Very neat, very tidy, and hopefully will catch us a carp. So before I cast this rig, I just want to show you an important bit about rig safety. So I have this chod buffer mounted onto the long splice section that I have, so it grips very, very well. If you want to check the safety of your helicopter rig, the only way to check is by pulling the hook link. So if you take the hook link and shake it, the top bead must always come free with one shake, like this. Very, very important. And the guys at Prologic have designed this top bead with a very, very big bore, which means it will pass over the end of the leader, allowing the hook link to come free very, very easily. And the hook link will slide easily because it has this nice big ring. So ensure your rigs are always safe. If you use a leg clip, you want to see if the tail rubber is too tight, take the hook link, shake it. Shake it. If it doesn't come off with 1 or 2 shakes, it's too tight, it's not safe. Okay, so just remember that test is very important. So we are ready to go with our helicopter rig. We're going to put it across to the spot. Bit longer range, a bit of silt, which is why we've changed for this presentation. Let's see if we can get a bite. fish I've just caught gave me one of the most epic fights I've ever had from a fish. It's probably 10 kilos, but it's a male fish, big, powerful fins. He has rough skin all over from spawning, spawning tubercles. You have a look at this guy, he's special. If he behaves, he's very angry. Oh, this is my kind of carp. Look at the tail. Whoa. Now that is 10, 11 kilos of pure power and testosterone. We should call this guy the John Holmes of the lake. If you remember who John Holmes is, then you're watching the wrong kind of videos. The tail is perfect, the dorsal. Thank you. He's behaving well. If you weren't a male, I would kiss you. Yeah. Two fast bites early in the day is feel very, very lucky, and again, it's always a battle to keep these fish away from the snags, so I run backwards just to try and gain some line, and I think the fish is away now, so I try and gain some line, keep the line tight, and yeah, he's away. This must be a small fish, he's coming very close. It's a relief sometimes when they come in quick like this, but we had one fish yesterday came in quick all the way and then went crazy inside, so we will see. Now he wakes up. A crazy, crazy, small, crazy common. Very pretty, very happy, thank you. Okay, so looks like the fish have arrived, and the long cast with the new rig on the leg core, or the hollow leader, which I set up helicopter style for the distance, and also because it's a bit silty, so changed the presentation. 45 minutes later, a really, really good bite, and I'm just hoping this guy comes to the bank. Whoa. There he is. I have to say that although for a chuck, for a long cast, a stiffer rod would be better, this is the perfect playing rod, definitely. It's incredible, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, it's a big head. Oh, big head. Another male. Another angry male. Well, another angry male, brutal warrior. It's proving that these fish are very shoal orientated. If you get one bite, another will follow almost immediately. So they come through in packs. So putting down a good quantity of manila boilies, and when they come through they stop and feed, and usually you get a bite. And most often 2 bites. This fella's very lively. This guy came to the bank, his friend got away, but I'm going to get the rods back out, see if we can get another one. I'm loving this. Okay, we're going round to the other side of the lake. The fish are using the south-facing bank a lot, patrolling up and down. The sun's hitting that bank, and it's been definitely the area for the most bites. So I'm going to have a break from casting long across. I'm going to go and find the fish for them directly, eye-to-eye contact. Should be really exciting. So I've got the 6-foot COM, stalker mat. I have everything I need. I'm going into the jungle. All through here. Oh. Some fish travelling around this peninsula, very, very close. The water is very, very coloured, chocolate colour where they've been feeding. The wind is just rippling in. I think that's maybe why they are here. But it looks very, very, very good. There are some fish in the area. If we can get a rig in position without scaring them, maybe we can get a bite. Okay, I've got the rig in position, a gentle underarm flick onto a spot where the fish are travelling over all the time. We've seen quite a few and they've been feeding. Oh, this fish coming past now, it's so exciting. So the rig's in position, I've laid the line down nice and low. We have a white pop-up, maybe 2 handfuls of manila boilies. Everything is perfect, the fish are here. We just want to catch one close on this short rod, it'd be such fun. Whoa. Oh my God. Well, that was electrifying, absolutely electrifying. We could see fish in the area swimming around, and all of a sudden fish bolt in every direction. The rod pulls round, the line is a blur, the reel's a blur. And in seconds, this fish has gone down around the corner. There he goes, he's coming past in front. There he is. It's a common. Hey! Wow, wow! Incredible. Is it? Now that was the most opportunist netting I have ever done. The net was just sat there quietly. I didn't even think of netting the fish, and he came along under my feet and I just thought, okay, and I got him. So a major result. Very, very short period of stalking, just a few minutes. Everything has worked. It's just a joy to play fish on a short rod like this, and the beautiful small Akuma reel, everything is balanced. That really is serious fun. Looks like the mouth has never seen a hook before. Always find it easier to remove the bait first. So I just crush the, very hard this pop-up. Just remove the pop-up first. And then that allows me to put thumb pressure, finger pressure on the eye of the hook and press forwards, and the hook will pop out very, very easily. Well, how about that? That's a true wild common carp. Very old strain of fish in this lake. That's an exceptional example. Absolutely mint, unmarked, very long, lean, muscle packed. And he couldn't resist the trap that I laid for him. It only took a few minutes, but the fight was epic and a lot of fun too. Okay, we're going to a second spot. When you're stalking, always a good idea to have 2, 3, sometimes 4 or more spots. You just check them. If one spot goes dry, you move to the next. So it went a bit quiet where we were after that common. He fought so powerfully, he scared the other fish a bit. So I have another spot. I just went and checked it and there's some fish there. So we're going to go and have a go for them. Can you see the fish through there? Corner is getting a lot of the evening sun as it's beginning to set, and when I was looking with my Polaroids I could see a spot just in front of this bush just being cleaned by the fish, just pure sand, where they have moved all the debris, all the leaves, everything. They just shoveled to one side. They made a natural feeding spot. So where I put some bait earlier, the fish have come and fed there, and I've just got the rig on position and the lead went, wow, bang, really hard, clean, reassuring drop. I put 2 handfuls of manila on top. It looks good for a bite, fingers crossed. Well, again, if you get everything right on here, on this lake, it seems that the bites come quickly. If you have to wait for too long, it means something is wrong. Either the fish are not there, or maybe the rig is tangled or something. So this was a new spot, and just the same as the last spot, the rig was probably in position for less than 5 minutes. Whoa. It swam into the net. Whoa! Epic. Now, you can see why a 6-foot rod is essential. It gets you into places that other rods just won't. The second stalking spot has paid off in fine style. The biggest fish I've had so far of the trip. This is probably 26, 27 English pounds. Very, very happy. Caught up close, see the fish feeding, and our last one of the big females comes along. Absolutely ecstatic with this girl. Thank you. She's gone very white. Yeah, it's a big fish. I think it's the biggest one I've seen. It's fantastic. Maybe one of the best in the lake. And for me, it's the end of my trip. I'm very happy. Thank you.